We could stay to watch the sunrise, cancel all our plans. We don't need a reason why we just can't. I wish I could stop time and stay in this moment, never think about going. Won't you stay with me for a little while?
Good morning and welcome to a new video. Today we are in Deuneghem in Belgium, and I already took the first photo to get that creativity flowing. It's just a very simple image. On the left side we got two smaller trees without any leaves, and then in the back here we got that beautiful pine tree here. And I'm out here because I got a little bit of FOMO, and a few videos ago I told you guys to maybe spend a little bit less time on social media, and it was a good tip for myself. But this week I was also scrolling on social media and I got FOMO, and I saw all those pictures from all the people here in Belgium that were taking pictures in the snow. But I was working the night shift, so today I also did my sixth night shift. But I came straight to this place to come and shoot some photos, because I was really I was getting anxious because I was missing out on those beautiful photo opportunities here in the beautiful snowy landscapes. But I had to drive an hour to see some snow, but I hope it will be worth it, because in the landscape we also got a little bit of mist, so that's helping a little bit to make our compositions, to make our subject stand out a little bit more. But it's not much, but I guess it's just enough to give that a little bit more of a special feeling in the pictures. I shot this at f4 and I was focusing on the pine tree, so the pine tree is really clear, but the two trees in the front, they're a little bit more out of focus. And I did that because I want to have this pine tree stand out from the landscape, because it's a little bit further into the landscape, and also with the mist it's separating it a little bit. And with the two trees there are no leaves on them, so they're just a little bit of a filling for this composition, and there's not a lot of interest on those trees. I want to just get that first photo out and start shooting other nice photos. For the people that are new to the channel, I have a little bit of explanation to do right now. I'm gonna try to use my telephoto lens, and with trying, I mean really try, because the tele lens is a little bit broken. It doesn't focus anymore, it doesn't stabilize anymore, and I'm not 100% sure if I even can adjust my focus. In a few pictures I already thought it didn't work anymore, but that's still something I'm not 100% sure of. But now I'm going to try to take a photo, because a lot of times, even if it's on the body, it doesn't do anything. If I push the shutter button, it doesn't take a photo with this lens on it. So I'm going to try to shoot this composition, because it's a really nice composition for the tele lens. Fingers crossed that it will work. So the thing I was afraid of is happening. I'm pushing the shutter button and it doesn't do anything. Oh, I really need a new lens. Oh, yes, I took a photo. Nice. And it looks like it's out of focus. Oh damn it, it's out of focus. How can I resolve this? Let's try this again. And fingers crossed it will take a photo. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Let's go! Taking photos, but it's still out of focus. I'm using a shadow depth of field of f4, and I can see in the middle of the photo, in the landscape, it's sharp, but then the trees that I'm focusing on, they're just out of focus a little bit. So what I'm photographing right now is this crooked tree here with the other tree to the right side of it, and I'm using this foreground here as our foreground element, but it's out of focus because I'm just shooting above this heather that is covered with snow, and the trees are so far away in the landscape, they're standing into the mist, so it's a really misty photo, but I really think it's a beautiful photo because the trees are so separated from the background. You cannot see the other trees in the back, so it's just focused on those two beautiful trees. I also don't know if we're gonna see any sunlight. It would be fun if we had some sunlight from time to time. That would be really nice, but we already got snow here in Belgium. I really was thinking I was going to miss out on this beautiful snowy landscapes this winter. Although winter has just started, but I was so afraid I was really gonna miss it. But here we are. Can you believe it? That I'm having a little bit of a difficult time shooting in this beautiful landscape. Maybe it's because I just came from the night shift that I'm having a difficult time to find the compositions, or maybe my expectations were a little bit different than what I'm getting right now. But I think I found a nice composition again. And again, I'm gonna need to use the tele lens, so I'm really hoping it will work along with me a little bit to capture this next composition. And of course, the lens isn't working with me, it's working against me. And now it's working. I don't know what kind of tree I'm photographing right now, but it's just a single tree in this landscape, and I'm using pine trees that are covered with a very small layer of snow in the background to make this smaller tree stand out of the landscape. It's a little bit too bad that the landscape isn't entirely covered with snow. Like you can see, we got all those brown patches or darker patches in the snow. It would have been much nicer if the snow was just one white piece of landscape. We have to work with it. It's all we got right now. And the tree that I'm photographing right now, its branches are also covered with a layer of thin snow, and with the darker background, the branches or this tree is a little bit popping out of this background because of the white against the darker background. Also, I'm using a shadow depth of field of maybe can even go lower. Right now I'm at 5.6, and I don't know. No, it's the lowest I can go at this focal length with the tamron 70 to 300. I'm almost at 300 millimeters. First, I was shooting this composition with a small piece of sky above the pine trees, and then we got that beautiful tree in the foreground. I will show them both, but I think the last one with the tree with the darker background is much nicer because of it's just standing out more than with the first photo, because in the first photo we got a little bit too much gray and whites, I guess, and now with the tree against the darker background, it's much much nicer. I don't know what time it is, but I guess normally I should not already be sleeping. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Normally I would go to bed now and start my night. But I was really missing out on those beautiful photo opportunities, so I had to sacrifice my sleep a little bit. But it's just one night, and then I'm 2 weeks off, so we can go on other nice photography trips. And I hope the snow will stay a little bit longer, and then maybe we'll go back to the Ardennen and shoot in the snow there. Just against a lake here, and I saw on the other side of this small lake here, I saw a pine tree, and it really got a beautiful shape, and it's also covered with a little bit of snow, not much, but it's just beautiful enough to take a photo of it. And I'm not 100% sure which lens I should use. I'm gonna try to use the 50mm because I don't want to be fighting with the tele-lens. And I also have to be careful because just in front of me we got some water, and we got some smaller trees just in front of our composition. So I'm gonna scout a little bit and hope I can make the composition with the 50mm because I don't want to use the tele-lens anymore. I had to jump over a little bit of water here to get across to make this composition, but I made it, and I forgot my tripod, so I had to go back and jump over it again. But now I've made my composition. I'm using these, I guess they are trees, so I'm using them as a foreground element in this picture because I'm shooting at the shallow depth of field of f3.5. And I will be cropping a little bit because the 50mm is just not far enough. I would have had to use my tele-lens, but I think with cropping this picture I will make it fit perfectly. And I really like the pine tree with a little bit of snow on it. It really creates for that nice wintry feel in this picture. We don't have a lot of snow in this picture or the surroundings, but we got a lot of ice, like on these trees here in front of us. There's also ice on the branches, and then we got a little bit of snow in the landscape, and then the little bit of snow on the pine tree, and still we got a little bit of mist in the landscape, so that creates for that extra magical touch in this composition. I'm really glad I did this, that I had the FOMO, the fear of missing out, and it's just perfect. This landscape, the mist, the snow, that's something we don't get a lot in Belgium, but I'm already happy with the picture that we already got. Maybe for the people that are living in wintry countries, this is maybe not super cool for you guys, but for me, having this opportunity once in a year, it's really amazing for me. I'm doing a really minimalist photo here in this water that I'm photographing in front of this river where I was jumping over, and I saw some green leaves moving in this water, so I put on my 2-in-1 polarization and defilter on it, and I'm using the polarization to make the leaves a little bit stand out, to get the reflection a little bit out of the water. But because the water is moving, I still getting a little bit of reflections in this water. So I've bumped up my shutter speed a little bit to have a little bit of a faster. I bumped up my ISO because I want to have a faster shutter speed. So I did that. I think it's really cool. We got this dark background, or the depth of this water is really dark, and then the green leaves moving in this water, and we got also a little bit of brown like this, some hay, I don't know how you call it, but from this stuff in the water. And I was really thinking, yeah, it's something like Thomas Heaton, I'm gonna shoot this. Most of the time I don't have an eye for it, I don't know. I really admire Thomas Heaton for it, that he has an eye for some small details in the landscape, or you can call it nature photography. So I saw this, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a photo like this. Thomas, if you ever see this, thank you for inspiring me. Really cool. To photograph this picture, I'm at ISO 800, 1/5 of a second, f8. I don't know if I'm telling you this correctly. It's ISO 640 instead of 800. I was confused with the f8 number. So ISO 640 f8, 1/5 of a second for this composition. Put the tamron 70 to 300 back onto the body. I made it work again. Had to make it work again. So I had to tap it a few times, and now it's taking photos. So I'm not touching the lens anymore, and now I can shoot my photos, and it keeps shooting continuously. But every time I take it from the body, it doesn't want to work, but I've mentioned it too many times in this video already. We got a little bit of light, very soft light coming into this landscape, and now I saw some birch trees and pine trees together, and behind those birch trees and pine trees we got other pine trees that are creating for a darker background. So it's a piece of the forest in the back, and then in front of it we got those trees, and on the birch trees, on the branches of it, we got some snow on it, or maybe it will be some ice on it. But the branches are white. It's like the birch tree has white branches on top of it. It's really cool. I had to shoot this composition with a little bit of sky on top of this composition, because I'm shooting it in a portrait, in landscape orientation, to capture those trees all together. And I'm zoomed in around 150 millimeters to capture this composition. So I'm really loving this winter photography day. It's so different from the other days for me, just because the snow for us here in Belgium is a little bit of magic. A lot of people hate it because it's a little bit more difficult to drive, but me, I was hoping for the snow to stay, and I was even wishing for a lot of more snow, but we already got some a little bit. So that's nice. Couldn't find any good compositions anymore. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit tired of doing from the night shift. Had the feeling today that I wasn't really thinking about my compositions. I hope my photos are okay and the compositions are also okay. Next time I need to slow down, think about my compositions, what I'm doing. And if you're still here, like the video, subscribe, and thank you for watching. That's the most important, for watching the videos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.